I think I made a mistake with this REIT. 3 years plus ago when prices came down, where general REITs was turning sour, I started buying, and along the way, because of its reputation and its good track record, I've been averaging it in more and more. And when there were market bottoms, apparently, like these two timings, I've actually even bought further position, and it was once my biggest holding. Today, I'm kind of backtracking a bit and calling this possibly a mistake. And this REIT is none other than Mapletree Industrial Trust. Just in case you are an existing shareholder, this is not a buy or sell recommendation. I'm giving you my thoughts and I'll be sharing with you transparently what are my plans moving forward. So if you're curious, continue watching. Hi guys, welcome back. Without further ado, let's dive into it. When it is a mistake, it doesn't look good. All investors will go through wrong calls. It's about how we judge it and how we react to it that makes a difference to the entire outcome. Yes, on a 1 year basis, Mapletree Industrial Trust is still on a up by a little bit. But if you look in terms of the last 1 year performance, that's because general REITs seem to have turned upwards already. Mapletree Industrial Trust is not even in the top 20 REITs in terms of 1 year performance. It's also underperformed on a 3 year basis, as boxed up in the red over there. It's also underperformed Kappa DC, boxed up in green over there. One which I've decided to let go and just focus on Mapletree Industrial Trust. The only consolation is Mapletree Industrial Trust has done better than SN does in the last 1 year. But beyond that, there's very little to celebrate. I've been championing Mapletree Industrial Trust for a long period, if you're a follower of this channel. And that's because they have a very strong track record. But I've also realized that in recent times, they've kind of also removed this chart already. Previously, they showed the trend upwards, correct, in terms of dividends per unit. It peaked out at about 13.8 cents in 2021, and it's been sliding down and down. Last year, it clocked 12.71 cents only. This year, it's projected actually to be slightly less. So what's the reason? What's wrong with it? Let me deep dive for you. Just in case you don't know, Mapletree Industrial Trust right now owns a lot of data centers. It's actually done very well moving from traditional outdated flatter factories towards the new age data centers. Currently, it manages more than $8 billion of properties, of which more than half is data centers, about half is in North America, particularly US. This is the root cause, which I'll touch on in a quick while. And actually, US data centers was once its shining light, its key driver to growing dividends. And the journey actually started back in 2017, whereby they made a big purchase of $750 million worth from its parent and sponsor. One shot, it acquired 14 properties, of which 2 I'll deep dive in a while. Yesterday's solution is today's problem, because as we know, US dollar is on a downtrend, and this downtrend looks to be persisting. Which means also, when you own a REIT and its properties are in US, yes, there are loans in US, but net, the asset is based in US. When you translate it to Sing dollars, it's going to be a bit less. When you translate that revenue also in Sing dollars, it's also going to be a bit less. So it must grow faster than the currency depreciation for the overseas assets to make sense. Take note again, this is something you need to know if you're buying Australian properties or UK properties, even if they are residential. So overseas properties are kind of tricky. But again, Mapletree Industrial Trust bought US properties because back then, US was the world's fastest growing data center. And for at least 3-4 years, it was a right decision. But today again, US is very different from 2017. Interest rates, as you can see over here, is climbing back to all-time high. I use this 5-year Treasury US yield instead of Fed rates because again, REITs, they borrow on a longer term basis. I think it mirrors a longer term borrowing cost, and with rates going up, this is not good news because Mapletree Industrial Trust has almost 71% in US dollar loans. Very weird, correct? Because Sing dollars right now, if you see Singapore savings bonds, Sing dollar yield is actually quite low, but US dollar borrowing cost is actually still very high. And 14% of Mapletree Industrial Trust books are going to be renewed this year, which means there's some possibility that interest costs could actually inch upwards slightly. Not so aggressive as in 2022-2023, but inching upwards is not good news. It will eat into dividends per unit. So first problem, US dollar sliding. Second problem, US borrowing costs staying high. But these two are still not the biggest problem, and that is obviously the the data center vacancies that Mapletree Industrial Trust is seeing right now. Let's pull up as a quick snapshot what exactly are their assets. Mapletree Industrial Trust is well diversified across US, some mature, some not so mature areas. And what we can see is US land is freehold. But freehold doesn't mean sure win. Unlike in Singapore, we are a city. Freehold properties, yes, not everything gains, but you won't see big drops in price. That's the truth. But when it comes to US or overseas properties where land is so scarce, it's like buy land bank like that. If the use is changed, the demand for it changes, freehold or not, it will still lose money. It's based on its economic value. In Singapore, every land has economic value. Once you get to US, where land is big, economic value matters more. And what I learned from this exercise is we need to track occupancy rate more than freehold or not. Occupancy rate tells you the market demand, and market demand is the one that drives economic value. So Mapletree Industrial Trust has mentioned already, they are looking to divest out of US because for older data centers there, occupancy rate is just sliding. And very recently, Mapletree Industrial Trust has actually sold one of their vacant Philadelphia data center at a premium to valuation. Valuation $13.9 million. Selling price $14.5 million. So when I saw this, I was like, wow, at least not bad lah. At least you can sell, which is good because I understand that analysts and market is looking at vacancies and punishing Mapletree Industrial Trust. And this property has been vacant for 18 months since its last tenant, Vanguard, which is a financial firm, left. So selling above valuation, I thought that was 100% good news until I realized what the asset price has dropped in the recent years. This was again purchased as a bulk back in 2017, like what I covered just now. 2000 Quebec Road, Philadelphia. The purchase price was, what can you see there? $70 million. Purchased $70 million. And actually after purchase, the valuation went up to $75 million. And then what happened? I did some investigation. How did it drop from $75 million all the way down to selling a premium of $14.6 million only? The first knockdown, 2021. $75 million revalued to $40 million. Wow, where did that $35.6 million go? I'm also not sure. At least the revenue was still strong, $4+ million. And we move it forward, we realize that $40 million dropped down to $38.5 million by 2023. Again, this drop is not due to lease decay, not true, freehold property, but it's just its valuation is based on economic value, of which valuers probably know of tenants leaving and eventually this property having a much reduced economic value. Take note again, the gross revenue in financial 2023 was actually $8+ million. So yes, this property generates a lot of cash flow. Wow, it is still tenanted. And once the tenant goes, you realize that the value would plunge. Something I didn't realize and now come to understand. I'm quite surprised why information like this is not so easy to find and requires deep digging. How did a further $20+ million evaporate from this Philadelphia asset really baffles me. So the next question I would ask myself as an investor is, are there more such write-offs? If there is, there could be more bad news or drop in NAV. And unfortunately, the answer is yes. Through analyst research, I can see that 2 more data centers are assumed to be vacant very soon, San Diego and Alpharetta. When tenants leave very soon, 86% to 75% by Q3 2027. That is why also management is committed to divest 500 to 600 million worth of data centers and really move away from US, which was where it entered just 10 years ago. Can they do such a swift maneuver without fire selling assets? That's what I'll be analyzing in the months and years ahead. So back to San Diego. This one seems to be a problem. Tenant is AT&T. Blue chip tenant, and they contribute 2.4% of revenue, which is even more than the 2000 Philadelphia data center. And what we can learn is when data centers are that specialized for a particular tenant, unless they do massive upgrades, it seems very difficult to fit another new tenant's needs. Market has also changed to something that requires data centers with newer age technology and facilities. So if you dig in terms of the San Diego, we realize that its purchase price was $169.2 million, boxed up in red. Value has started to drop And as of 2025, it was $151 million. Revenue for it was still pretty strong at almost $20 million. So net for these properties, have Maple Industry Trust lost money? Maybe rent income kind of break even, but definitely didn't make much. And what we do see, and worryingly, I have something to show you, which is the latest valuation of this San Diego property. From 151 million, the value seems to have plunged because tenant is moving out. And now, as of 31st March 2026, unfortunately, it's stated there $49.2 million. Wow, where did 100 million go to? Again, my best guess is it's based on economic value. Land is land, freehold you can have it, but nobody wants it. There is no economic ability to extract from it. You know, back in 2025 where JP Morgan flagged out risks for Maple Tree Industry Trust, I laughed it off and probably mistook it as fear, uncertainty, doubt, trying to market manipulate. But it looks like right now I have to eat the humble pie, and maybe I didn't quite understand the risk. Or maybe I was hopeful that management can find a tenant very easily. But as we see now more and more, if it's something specialized, it's not so easy to find a new tenant. Unlike shopping mall, whereby if NTUC FairPrice moves away, very easy, just find Sheng Siong, someone to come in and take a space. There's always somebody, it's just a matter of price. But when we have a specialized data center, maybe in a remote place, to find a tenant is going to be very difficult. Or someone looking for it will need it to be rebuilt for their purpose, which is not what a REIT is strong at. Hopefully my candid sharing is useful for you. Let me share with you now my plans for Maple Tree Industry Trust. At $1.95, this is depressed. 6.4% dividend yield is not too bad. At this price, I wouldn't be cutting losses and moving on. I'll be holding on to it. I'm hopeful that at a certain point, market conditions normalize a bit and maybe Maple Tree Industry Trust can recover back to 220 or 230. My expectations now are not go up to 3 or 350 already. 220, I might be trimming down Maple Tree Industry Trust. Which means plain and clearly, I'm not saying Maple Tree Industry Trust is a bargain right now. I think there are risks that I didn't understand myself. I own more than 100,000 in my books right now, and I will be looking to trim down a little bit. I trust management's track record. If we see they have returned more to investors since IPO than even STI index, this transition away from US needs time and is filled with risks. And my own assessment is I shouldn't have too much of an overweight into it, and I should eat the humble pie and reallocate some of the excess that I put into it. Let me know your thoughts as always. If you like this episode, smash or subscribe. I'll continue to share updates with you and give candid feedback. Check out these previous videos I have on my dividend portfolio. Stay humble, stay prudent in your own investment journey also, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care as always. Goodbye.